Today's horoscope from Astrocademy, Pisces, October 22, 2022. Reading too much into others' actions and words can stir up more friction than you need today, dear Scorpio. If you fear the worst, it can be tempting to seek the worst because you don't want it to take you off guard. Emotional satisfaction comes from genuinely connecting with others deeply. Defensiveness or suspicion will not get you any closer to others or yourself. Focus on ways to improve your productivity for best results now. In fact, it may be best to be a little more attentive and vigilant with your work or routines, since small worries or fears could interfere with clear thinking later today. If a misunderstanding occurs, try to resolve it quickly and honestly rather than offering lengthy explanations. With Mercury opposite Chiron today, words and actions may be triggering, despite even our best efforts. You're in good shape for contemplation and behind-the-scenes study or work. You crave intensity and are all or nothing, Scorpio. However, this can easily fuel you up for a fight at the first sense that something is up. Today's cosmic weather is extremely gloomy, so resist your desire to throw gasoline upon the spark. The mighty sun will dash through the sky, but as he does, he will come under the line of attack of powerhouse Pluto. Expect tremendous frustration, especially around power and control. Don't let the beast within overtake you as you burn down the world around you. No one will win this great fury at this time. How can you have an appropriate yet fulfilling conversation at work today, Scorpio? Since the Sun in Libra is forming a square to Pluto in Capricorn, you might have a lot on your mind that you need to address with your immediate work community. But your tone, turf, and timing are crucial given that Mercury in Libra is opposing Chiron retrograde in Aries. Between these two transits, you may find that it is challenging to address your concerns without feeling overly frustrated or aggravated. Take a deep breath, find your inner zen, and say what needs to be said. In the heart of not just the working week but Jupiter's last full week in your work sector, having the moon in your career sector is energizing things on both fronts. While this might make today more about having your work and professional hats on, with money matters preparing to move into review mode and new planetary activity on the income front next month, this is a chance to first get your professional ducks in a row. You have a knack for delaying gratification. You have also been known to exhibit great impatience, particularly with yourself. The planetary energy is encouraging you to focus on your strength, and to strive to create a world of balance around you. Commitment is the key to success, and you must commit to a healthy physical life in order to have balance and harmony in the bigger picture. It's not about denial, it's about getting everything you want. The vibrations of the day are going to tend to destabilize you. You are going to have to go with the flow even if the going is a little rough. However, you should think about your behavior with your family and friends. Try not to beat them over the head with your certitude. Take time to listen and weigh the pros and cons of a situation and stop acting on impulse. There may be a slowdown in your professional life. Just having the moon in your career sector in the heart of the working week is an advantage, but even so more when it is Jupiter's last full week in your work sector. Today the moon finds itself in the wrong place at the right time and with perfect timing. A clash with Saturn might create some professional pressure or work-life balance tension, but a friendly aspect to the dwarf planet Eris in your work sector can turn this into motivation. Especially when it comes to the motivation to work smarter. Just 3 days before Venus, the planet of love, is due to return to Virgo to begin a new cycle of love, she catches up with the Sun and will spend the final days of a nostalgic trip down love's memory lane aligned. This is shining light on a sense of romantic nostalgia while at the same time giving your heart more influence when it comes to closing the doors on this old solar year and preparing for the next. Our eyes in the sky. Today brings a healing vibration to balance yesterday's energetic aspects. Mercury in Libra opposes Centaur Chiron in Aries, and this aspect helps you see the overview of what's going on instead of getting caught in the trenches of the current cosmic alignments. It's a new take on an old story with poetic undertones being brought to the surface via this fixed dynamic. This aspect could cause someone or something to try to throw you off your game. Stay mentally positive and know that the shade being sent your way has nothing to do with who you are. It's all about what you trigger in others in general. Sometimes jealousy comes out in weird ways, and, unfortunately, it can be sparked by someone's inability to see who they are in the mirror. Luckily, the karmic connections require everybody to contend with their own demons. Nobody is getting off easy here, and right now zooming out and looking at the forest instead of the trees is the best strategy of all. The square of both Mercury and Venus in Libra to Pluto in Capricorn adds context to the plan and helps those with business ambitions to ground to their ideas. It's a perfect day to dive into your career pursuits, which is where you can meet your competitors head-on. In the morning, the Libra Sun makes its biannual square to Pluto in Capricorn, prompting power struggles. Although conflict may manifest in the form of a partnership dispute or fight with a coworker, Plutonian transits are always indicative of a struggle occurring at an interior, psychological level. We feel out of control now, as if we are a pawn in a game we have not elected to play. Toxic relationship dynamics are highlighted, causing us to question why we put up with hostile treatment. Ultimately, square aspects create tension to expose problematic behavior, and with the exposure comes a choice. Do we continue to yield our power to these stronger and seemingly relentless forces, or do we remove ourselves from the situation? From the Libra Sun's point of view, we might feel obligated to keep the peace. Anger, even righteous anger, poses a threat to our lifestyle, titles, and position of influence. Yet, this transit asks us how much of our confidence we are willing to sacrifice for appearance's sake. Likely, we've done this to get into another's good graces. Yet, we've wound up wondering whether being held in another's esteem is worth the stress. We shouldn't need to hype ourselves up to impress others. Now we assess the matter at hand with a more measured mindset. We've learned it's possible to be excited about something without sacrificing our integrity to see it through. If this is your day to have fun, don't be surprised if it turns sour thanks to an overwhelming feeling that you should be working, or you should be productive in some way. If you are at work today, your overall productivity will be strong. Following this, the Leo moon squares off with Uranus in Taurus, provoking frustration. This aspect adds fuel to the fire of the Sun-Pluto square. Under the Leo moon, we want to feel special and shiny. We want to be recognized for our contributions. And the fact is, we don't feel special today. We feel like we must submit, rather than stand out, to be rewarded. In response, we decide to rebel. Indeed, this influence may tip the scales, finally pushing us to say, "No more." A thoughtless comment or an emotional outburst could seal our fate by spelling the cathartic end of a toxic relationship.